All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know I said me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight. Me have to take away me say. Have to take away me say. I have to utilize thy wings. Show the eye clean where I is. I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel hide like a thief in the night. May I forget out of sight. May I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize thy wings. Show the eye a clean pair of heels. I say, yeah, yeah. Been there, done that, don't need it again, yeah. I'm not a master guess who won't play your game, yeah. To all you move, you off me way to the core. Sayonara, the hot girl gone through the door. Take away ourselves. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Say no goodbye, girl, let me take me ourselves. Take me ourselves. No goodbye, girl, let me take me
Yes. Yes. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. This is yours truly, Franco, and I'll be linking up with Flavius in a few minutes.
Clean hands and clean heart. I used to see the face of the master. Wanna remember. Hear me now. I'll try that one more time. Me say them heart no clean. Them bad mind. It easy if you know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one. Round them, it a fig one. My friend, them heart no clean. Them bad mind, it easy if you know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one, round them, it a fig one, my friend. Just be careful when you're touching on the street, because the vultures, them hungry and a look meat for eat. Be careful when you're rolling on the street, because the shot of them not even a pure shot of beat. And them a get casket and breathe. But me a big master, God no give them no chance to eat. Cause the youth them off for school, and mama off to eat. And the mission when me dip and round and not complete. Them heart no clean, them bad mind. It easy if you know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one, round them, it a fig one. My friend, them heart no clean. Them bad mind, it easy if you know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one round them. Hey, well me say Bonnie and Bobo, them a brother. Hey, Bonnie work hard, but Bobo him a taker. Me want him tell him put him up together. Hey, him say culture me a for rich, me a climb up the ladder. Me hear him buck up in a bad weather, yo. Because him this a wicked man from over the border. See, they know him little brain scatter, yo. Them are no clean, them bad mind. It is if you know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one round them, it's a fig one, my friend. Them are no clean, them bad mind. It is if you know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one round them, it's a fig one, my friend, yo. Cause come you mat your mark and me say look down to done. And don't forget to send praises to the man. Your heart a fi clean, your have to carry clean. And fi rally round Jaja salvation. Them are not clean, them bad mind. It is if we know, cause there is always a sign. But life a fig one round them, it's a fig one, my friend.
This is your very own sports, music, and lifestyle podcast with Flavius and Franco. Welcome.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. And this is Franco, along with...
and this is Flavius. Morning, listeners.
And we're coming to you live and direct as always. And today we have two special guests this morning. And I know Flavius would be very honored today to introduce them when we're ready to bring them on.
Okay. Yeah, man.
So, as always, for those of you who are out there, because the whole world is open up again, but the virus is on the rise. From last week, Flavius, my state, Florida, we were in the 60,000, and now this morning we're 77,000. So, for like each day, it's been hitting in the 1,600, to 1,700 yesterday. So that brings us to 77,000. And of course, they're still saying that they're doing the best. They have the best testing in the world. But so far, it's not good. Anyway, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, we have a little sunshine this morning. I mean, it's not that bright. It's a bit bleaky, but sun never... yesterday we opened up and we put into place the protocols for visiting people. Normally when you go to immigration and then customs. Now they have added another step. First you have to go to the health area where you are assessed and checked. You check for temperature and you check for any other signs of symptoms of the COVID, and then you are tested. All that before you do anything. So the whole airport situation has changed quite a bit. You have to make room, and then the whole check-in thing. In fact, only incoming passengers can be in that hall there. No other people can go in there. So a lot of the airport is blocked off. The airport now comes like netball. Certain players can't pass certain lines.
I like
what it is now.
I like the analogy there. It's like a netball.
Ball game, little circle place there. All that at the back near the goal, and then the middle people can be in the middle there. So. And they say it has been going good, but of course, only a few flights came in yesterday. as expected. So, it's a good way to test out the system because when you start getting 4 or 5 flights at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
it will be the real test. But they get a practice session yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and they say it worked okay.
Okay.
And of course, people who came on these flights were mostly Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's happy that they could get to come home.
Yeah, that's
In fact, strangely enough, the two pilots were Jamaicans also.
good.
It was an American Airlines flight.
Oh yeah, they've been flying for the last what 6 months or more.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that is all good, That is all good.
Yeah, man.
Well, I don't hear much this week about the school because the schools were open from last week. People doing exams,
Mm-hmm.
not regular school. Not everybody. Everybody's coming back in September.
Okay.
But it's just for the exam people who are doing the refresher
Mm-hmm.
before the exam. The exam is the 5th or so of July. It's basically a month away.
Yeah.
So they open up the school so the teachers can take them through their paces, get them back sharp,
Mm-hmm.
So that is very good. The other thing now is crime. The crime is on the up. We had a burning down at the market, and they have a new Zozo in West Kingston. I think they have two in West Kingston now.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Kingston Central, that whole area
Mm-hmm.
is on us. So no, from the west, Dedham Town, come right across to Kingston Central. So all of that is on the zone
Okay.
because apparently, well, what the police communication arm is saying is that you have numerous gangs down there fighting for turf.
Mm-hmm.
And then there has been a few other problems in St. Mary yesterday. A police killed a young man, and
Mm-hmm.
the whole set of people blocked the road, the fire, and all these things.
So it all over the island, man.
Yeah, and urging the Indicom to investigate because them say it wasn't a lawful killing at all.
Okay.
And they pick up the guy and took him to him home, and the mother was there talking with them, and then took him to the corner and killed him. That's what the people are saying.
Oh.
And there's another one, I think last week, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on the police, it's on the criminals. I mean, everything is happening. It's no time, no time of ease.
Mm-hmm.
No time of ease at all.
Something now go on, man.
Yeah, we're busy. We are busy. Wrong things. I don't hear much about the people who go back to work and that is happening with them. And of course, a lot of people want to stay home and work. A lot of people want their kids to stay home and get schooling.
But as you say, stay home and work and schooling, how is the strength of the internet?
So I'm going to tell you, that has not changed. I mean, until they bring in some more people, why I keep insisting on bringing in more people is because people at my age or older, or probably a little younger, would remember when cable and wireless had a monopoly. And we suffered.
Okay.
We suffered. And it seemed to be going back there. We don't want it to go back there. If we go back there, we are totally dead.
Okay.
They cannot bring the country forward. We need somebody else to come in now, because they say they're not going anywhere and this and that, but they have been resized in a negative way for a few years now. I'm not seeing the owners anywhere close to Jamaica or the Caribbean for a long time. That means they are gone.
Okay.
They come and they get the money and they are gone. So they leave the business to the locals to see what they can make out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're going to go far very long, you know. Because right now I think they are mostly based in Kingston. They're not doing anything to spread the thing. But we need some new people to come in who will start in the rural part of the country. Rural part of the country that everybody can have it. I mean, everybody needs to have internet. Everybody wants internet, and everybody. And if you have so many people on it, then the pricing can be good, so everybody can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I live, we have 6 schools and no internet. So how will these kids be able to compete with the city kids? It's impossible. Can't be done. So they will always be playing catch up. They always be left behind, and you always see parents fighting everything they have to try and send them kids to so-called traditional schools in Kingston for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you have a few elsewhere, you know, like in St. Elizabeth or St. James.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's Kingston.
Okay.
And we can't keep doing that. We can't keep doing that.
I get you.
There's no spread. There's no spread of the people, of the children. You know, mix in schools. You know, you have the ones that are quotes unquote not so bright, and you have the ones that are very bright. You know, and you can't put them in one place, and then everything is so mixed up, which is really. It's really awful. Yeah. So that is a major thing that we need to look at immediately. We have to understand that the internet is critical for our development and for our trying to stop the disadvantage of rural kids, the underdevelopment of rural kids. Because it's not, there's no equality. It's like comparing apples and oranges, you know, it's not the same. They're going to take the same exams and whatever, but the results are different, completely different. In fact, I was showing somebody that if you want to get a good understanding of what is happening now in Jamaica, you watch Schools Challenge quiz, and you see the vast difference among the schools, you know. Schools that have the resources, you know, because I know the traditional schools have a lot of resources, more than the regular schools. What they don't have normally, they have old boy association, old student association, old grade association. That will help. So, you know, all these things are so important and so critical for development in Jamaica. But what we do need in Jamaica, though, we need somebody to come and who's going to focus on eradicating the poverty in the country. We don't need to have poverty in the country. I mean, we know we're going to have the rich guys.
When you say somebody to come, what do you mean? Like somebody from inner Jamaica, if it come up, rise up.
Yes.
Okay.
It's our problem. We have to see the problem. The problem is very simple. You know. For a country to survive, it has to make money. And how you make money is to have goods or services for sale outside. So you can bring in more money so the cake can get bigger. We have not done that for many, many years. I mean, our manufacturing is weak, very weak, to say the least. In the 60s and 70s, when Trinidad and Costa Rica retooled. We did not. So now we're buying everything from them. And we're still not retooled. We still can't make packaging containers like they do in Costa Rica. And we don't have the facilities to do like regular package stuff like that in Trinidad. And we are not selling anything, not many things anyway. We have so much advantage in the world, man. We have the best cocoa, the best coffee, ginger, all of those things Jamaica is at top of the heap. But we're just not producing enough of anything. Or sustaining it for a very long time. Every time we have something come up, we hear something happen, somebody keeps some money or whatever, and it closed down. We have a jerk sauce. Jerk is always jerk sauce or whatever. And the fact is closed down, and we're not helping ourselves at all. We have bright people here where we can have services, and we don't need to be going abroad and all that to offer these services. With the internet, with proper internet, we can do everything here and collect the foreign exchange and bring it in. No country can move ahead if the top line of their balance sheet is tourism, which is so fickle, as we just found out now, and remittance, which is gifts from people to their family here. Our top line should be some form of production. Something must be bringing in enough money on a sustained level. Anyway, folks, it's getting close to getting our guest, so let me just move on to Did You Know? Franco, are you ready for Did You Know?
Whenever you're ready, sir. If you want to go straight into it, it's up to you. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Because time is going over.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
For that. Okay, folks. We've been going through, the Caribbean, what it looks like, how many countries and all that. And we're not going to stray very far from that. We're looking into how beautiful the Caribbean is and the people and all that. Well, to this morning, we are going to look at a list of World Heritage Sites in the Caribbean. This is the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. UNESCO has come up with something that they go around and look for places all over the world that they can be deemed a World Heritage Site. That means it has to be very important, it has great value and all that. So that's very important. Okay, we can just jump into it. I might not be able to pronounce one of these names properly, but I'll give it a try. Okay, the first one we have is Alejandro de Humboldt National Park. And this is in Oregon and Guantanamo in Cuba. I know Oregon is a very, very nice area of Cuba. The park exhibits a wide array of geology types. It contains many biological species, including 16 of Cuba's 26 endemic plant species, as well as animal species, such as the endangered Cuban solenodon. Okay, we move to Antigua Naval Dock Yard. The site consists of a group of Georgian-style naval buildings and structures set within a walled enclosed. The natural environment of the site of the island of Antigua, which is deep, narrow bays surrounded by islands, offered shelter from hurricanes, and was ideal for repairing ships. The construction of the dockyard by the British Navy would not have been possible without the labor of generations of enslaved Africans since the end of the 18th century. Its aim was to protect the interests of sugarcane planters at a time when European powers were competing for control of the Eastern Caribbean. Then we go to archaeological landscape of the first coffee plantation in the southeast of Cuba. And you'll find that Cuba have a lot on this list. During the 19th and early 20th century, Eastern Cuba was primarily involved with coffee cultivation. The remnants of the plantation display the techniques used in the difficult terrain, as well as the economic and social significance of the plantation system in Cuba and the Caribbean. Blue and Jonker Mountains. This is in Jamaica. The park covers roughly about 4.5% of Jamaica. So that's a very, very, very big park. We had a full discussion on that some weeks ago on this show. So we're not going to go in too much into that. Just to say that the Blue and Jonker Mountains is listed as a mixed inscription. That means it has two different types of inscription. One for flora and fauna and one for culture. And the culture is based a lot on the Maroons who live in that area. Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. Built during the 17th and 18th century by African slaves in a period of European colonial expansion, the fortress is an exceptionally well-preserved example of British military architecture in the Caribbean, and this is in St. Kitts and Nevis. Colonial city of Santo Domingo. Santo Domingo was founded in 1498, shortly after the arrival of Christopher Columbus on the island, and held first cathedral, hospital, customs house, and university built in the New World. Its grid pattern town plan because the model of other colonial towns in the Americas, and this is in Dominican Republic. The Sembraco del Gama National Park, and this is also in Cuba. The park features a unique KARST topology with features such as terrace, cliffs, and waterfalls. Historic area of Wilstad Inner City and Harbor in Curacao. The architecture of the 17th century Dutch trading settlement combined styles from the Netherlands with Spain and Portuguese colonial towns. Historic Barbados and its garrison. Barbados is an excellent example, Bridgetown is an excellent example of a British colonial settlement built from the 17th to 19th century. Unlike Dutch and Spanish settlements of the area, the town is not laid out on a grid plan, but follows a serpentine urban design. Okay, we'll have to finish this up on another day. Those are some of the World Heritage Sites in the Caribbean. I think we have about 23 now. So we will come back to that. Yes, Franco.
Yeah. Yes, so in case you didn't know, now you know. Yes, yes, indeed. We have with us this morning none other than acting colonel of the Charlestown Maroons in Portland, Jamaica. And we're going to be talking about Kwawu Ancestor Day, right, Flavius?
Yeah, Ancestor Kwawu.
Ancestor Kwawu Day. And then later on, we're going to see if we can link up with Dr. Marcus Goffe. So morning, Colonel. How are you doing?
Akwaba, I'm doing fine.
Okay, how is the family? Is the family good?
Yes, the family is okay here in Charleston.
All right, okay. Glad to know. So Flavius, it's all yours.
Yes, sir. Yes, Colonel.
Morning, Flavius.
Somebody asked me this question recently. How is the coronavirus and Charlestown?
Well, in Charleston, we so far don't hear of an active case of corona. And of course, most of the people here have been social distancing. So, they're doing the right measures in order to take care of the body so that they do not really have, contract the virus or spread any germ further.
Okay. Another question I was asking is like the river park.
Yes.
Normally come in and just go there and use it?
Yes, people normally come in and just go there and use it. But if they are going to keep a
Mm.
function, then the persons that are in charge have to have to be notified, and then they would put whatever it is in measures they need to put into place. But during the
Yeah.
corona at this time, what we have done is that we close off the river park because we did not
Okay.
want anybody from everywhere just coming up, popping up, using our water facility and, spreading or leaving their viruses or mess or garbage around while we are not able to take care of it.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think that what the question was about. It's locked off now. And all that. Okay. All right. So we are having the Crow virtual Crow Day next Tuesday, 23rd of June.
Yes.
Just about it now. Or just give us a background. We start with probably a background of Crow Day and whatever, and then we move on to that.
All right. So, Quode as it is originally made to acknowledge the ancestor Quo. Why acknowledge ancestor Quo? Because Quo was the person who had signed the peace treaty on behalf of the Windward Maroon. The peace treaty was done on the 23rd of June 1739. And so each year, right here in Charlestown, what we do is to acknowledge that Quo was one of the most, what I should say, vigilant person that had really walk this terrain, and of course, one of the person who actually set the freedom line um, plain, straight as it is out there, so that people can know that yes, this is who we are. So Kwa was one of the men who held up the saying that the Maroon had fought for the identity, how to be judged, how to be identified by. So he look at what we are, who we were at that time, and what we want to be in current present time, and he acknowledged the fact that hey, this is who we are, fighting for the freedom of acknowledgement and so on. So each year, the 23rd of June, what we do is come together to really talk about the Kwau Ancestor Day. And so as we go celebrating Kwau, we use the different things and themes as we go along each year. So each year we do have a different theme that we celebrate by. And then one theme can take you up to many years if you wish, but just to get people to pass the knowledge of, for example, indigeneity. So they celebrate the indigenous status of the Maroons and who they are, what they stand for, and why are they indigenous, and so much more. So for this year, the Kwawo Day would be actually done virtually, and that
Colonel,
to
Colonel,
me bring an
Colonel,
excitement into.
Colonel,
Yes,
Colonel.
yes sir, yes sir,
I'm, I'm, I'm,
yes sir,
I'm getting some background noise behind you.
yes sir. All right, that's okay now.
Okay, go ahead then.
Yes, so this year it would be celebrated virtually because of the coronavirus. And it brings an excitement because people have been already asking for the link to link it up. So, what we're going to do is ensure that we provide the link on every medium so that people can actually log on, go on to actually go on the site in itself to
Okay.
learn more about Quo and to actually do more of Quo. Right now, as it is, we're in the office. preparing, you know, making sure that when it's time to log on virtually, people that are going to be on ground are able to log on properly. Um, that people will be able to actually hear or see or walk in and get an interview. As it is, not many people, because we don't want to have 2 and 3 dozen people at a time.
Yeah.
So what we do is we ensure that we are going to do a distant. We already speak to the security personnel, which is the police, in order to keep distance. So we want the distance. So therefore, in the Asafiyad, we are planning on having just drummers and dancers, and that's a big space for them to distance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So while they are drumming and they are dancing, everyone can be at a different space. The kids would be drumming and dancing. That's something that you're going to see also. People always look forward to the drumming. Someone asked me just yesterday, when are we going to drum? Because they are looking forward to have some drumming as it is.
Okay. So Flavius,
Yes.
is it okay now for it to be started? Because you mentioned early about people asking where it's going to be on the virtual sites.
Yeah, we're going to be sending out more. If it's on the flyer that we have, it's on the flyer.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the flyer already.
Oh, it's on the flyer already. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Right.
It's going to be YouTube and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Live,
and
right?
and the Charleston channel and the Charleston page on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is there already. But we will send out a clickable thing probably by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I know most people that's that's what they're looking for, that they can have it either on the cellular phone or the tablets.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh
they
yes.
can be able to click and it take them straight to that platform.
Yeah. You want to try Marcus again?
Let me try him. In the meantime. See if we can hook up back again with Dr. Marcus. For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Real Stuff Podcast. And this morning our special guest is none other than Acting Colonel Miss Marcia Douglas from Charlestown Maroons in Portland, Jamaica. And we all talking about Ancestor Kwawu Day celebration, and it's all happening June 23rd, and it's going to be virtual. Yes, Colonel, we're back. We're trying to get Dr. Marcus Goffe, but apparently he's not picking up, so we're going to continue with you. So it's going to be a virtual celebration. And what else can
Yes.
we expect it? If I am watching or other people watching, what else can they expect to see?
Uh, all right, so we are going to have people bringing greetings from various places. So we're going to have the libation
Mm-hmm.
by the cacique and by Coral Fofier Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have greetings and presentation um, by the colonels if they can be on virtually. And so the other Maroon colonels across Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to have from the Minister of Culture, the Minister of Tourism,
Mm-hmm.
as the, of course, they played a integral part last year in our conference, and so we want to have them even bringing greetings across so that they know that we still have that.
Mm-hmm.
That even though we're virtual, we can continue to, do the work
Oh
that is
yeah.
said to be done by, putting out the message across about our parents
Mm-hmm.
and their freedom of liberty today that was made known and acknowledged
Mm-hmm.
by our parents. So we want to have that done too as well. So another thing that you can expect you can expect to at least learn one song because while drumming and dancing, it will give you that gist,
Okay.
to sing along.
All
You might
right.
hear the song sing one time and I wonder what it is, and you try to sing it the other time on the song. So at
Mm-hmm.
least you'll learn that and you'll learn some of the rhythm. You get to even learn the dance,
True, true, true,
by
true.
watching. If you couldn't dance then
Mm-hmm.
you can dance now.
Okay.
One of the tip I'm giving to everyone that is listening,
Mm-hmm.
just go on YouTube, type in Charleston Maroon and practice to dance. So on that day, you will feel as if you are on ground with us dancing because you can actually get to dance with us
True, 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 true.
virtually. So we want to have that. We want to get that done. You, some of the songs that we'll be singing are the Wow Warrior song,
Mm-hmm.
you know, telling you like what the song the Maroon used to sing when there was a war. Even if they don't point it out, you'll hear them.
Mm-hmm.
You will hear the song of victory. You will hear the song of rest. When they were at a place and they want to rest,
Yeah.
they would sing their song, and you will see the different instrument that the Maroon would have played.
Mm-hmm.
Most of all, what excite people is the sound of their bang. So you'll have the sound of their bang ringing out.
The abeng is
So
what? Is an
everyone,
instrument?
yes, the bang is the first wireless means of communication ever. So the Maroon would have used that to communicate
Mm-hmm.
from one end to the other.
Okay.
So back then, they could say where the British vessels were, how many were there,
Mm-hmm.
how many black shots on militia slaves they had, and they could tell where they were going to stage their ambush,
Mm-hmm.
how many other time they were going to take out, and where next they would have hide. Today, the Abeng is still used to say, we're cleaning the town, we're cleaning the cemetery, a baby is born, someone has died, and much more. So
Mm.
we still use the Abeng to communicate, as it is our former colonel, Frank Lumsden, would have said, it's from the Abeng to the internet. And actually, that is what we're really working towards. You're going to really experience from the Abeng
Mm-hmm.
to the internet on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the internet is what is going to be sending out all those messages,
Mm-hmm.
but the Abeng is going to blow it. So the Abeng them make the message
Mm-hmm.
and sound it out, and the internet collects it and bring it to the different people.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It came to my thought earlier this morning. I was watching the news on TV here, and I was seeing how they're setting up the social distancing inside the shopping malls and things like that, and especially inside a work center. And I was thinking for like museums and things like that. You guys have a museum as well, and Jamaica
Yes, we
is
do have
now
a museum.
yeah, and Jamaica is now opening again, or it's in functioning as well. When will you
Yes.
guys be able to start accepting visitors? And if
Well,
so,
we're in the process of getting everything okay.
okay, that.
So we have to get in the wash station so that people can sanitize their hand.
Mm-hmm.
We want to put up some electronic sanitizer things
Outlets.
so that people can
Mm-hmm.
just sanitize themselves.
Mm-hmm.
In the museum, we'll be marking out the distance,
Okay.
the distance between people that will allow a certain amount. So therefore, we plan not to carry more than that amount inside,
That's
as long
okay.
as you can stand apart.
Mm-hmm.
From the front of the museum to the back, that's the amount we'll take in at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my tour guides, I'm going to be training them over again because apart from knowing the history, I want to see them carry out the sanitizing or the sanitization practice. So they do the best it is as they're sanitized gloves, mask, shield, because they're so close to the people. So I'd rather they have shield too as well,
Yeah, yeah.
and their own microphones. So each person will take care of their own stuff. Take care of your own shield, take care of your own microphone, and so on. It's not leave up to anybody to take care of it. So therefore, that's one of the training that we want to get going. Then secondly, we want to do the tour like on shift. So we take bookings for every 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we're gonna be doing.
Wow.
Yes, because when you book a tour for 10 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
2 hours from that would be 12 o'clock, and the other tour comes 12. So that will give you enough space and distant time to complete your tour and to get those people off to their bus. And while they're going on their bus, somebody will be there sanitizing the place too as well. So that's one of the things that we are looking at.
Wonderful, man.
Um,
Wonderful.
and then hiking, I normally would have them gathered in batch and groups and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But this season, I think we want to do more of the hiking,
You're gonna have to
hiking
have
in the
rope length. You're
community.
gonna have to have rope length distance. when
Well,
you're gonna
that's
hike.
that's something that we are thinking of.
Yeah.
Make some knots on the rope and they
Yeah.
hang on to it,
Yeah, at a
and they
distance.
keep those distance,
Yeah,
and
that's.
they have a certain amount of flexibility between the ropes and so on. So we
Mm-hmm.
are thinking about that too as well.
Okay.
And actually, with that procedure, then the guests would have to wear gloves,
Mm-hmm.
in order to hold on to the rope. We want to do more of the outdoor, fresh air breather as a tour
Mm-hmm.
than the inside, going to the museum cloak up family at this moment. So
Okay.
that is something we want to do.
We're gonna try and get back Dr. Marcus. He was calling me earlier, so let me
Okay.
give you guys some background music, and then we get Dr. Marcus on the line, so we can
Yes,
have a conversation with him as well.
please. Sir.
Yes, my listeners, we have with us Dr. Marcus Goffe. He's an attorney at law who specializes in intellectual property law and the protection of traditional knowledge, traditional culture expressions, and the rights of indigenous and local communities. he is largely consulted. He's regularly consulted by the Maroon community in Jamaica and is committed to supporting their sustainable development. Welcome again, Dr. Marcus. Greetings.
Yes, yes, brother. Greetings, and give thanks for the opportunity and to the listeners and everyone. Morning, Colonel.
Morning, Marcus.
Morning, Marcus.
Morning, Mr. Ladley. Morning, sir. How you doing?
Well,
Quite well, quite well, quite well.
well, Marcus, let me get to it. My question to you, right? Because you're an attorney that specializes in intellectual property law, and I figure that's my knowledge of intellectual property law is like if I do a song or I have a book or art or something, I can contact you as well, right?
Right.
All right. Now tell me about the traditional culture part of it for the indigenous people.
Right. So, globally, when persons talk about the protection of intellectual property, they also more recently, in recent years, have been talking about the protection of traditional knowledge, traditional cultural expressions, which, many of the Africans and the African descendants the United Nations have been arguing that while we're ascribing protection, to creations of individuals, we treating the traditions of communities as being open to the public and anyone can access it and there's no legal protection for it. And so, historically, there's been a lot of colonization of indigenous peoples and Africans' traditions and cultures and knowledge about herbs and plants and these things are used to develop new inventions in the West by Europe. So it's a recognition now of the need for laws, for legal protection for the tradition and the cultures of indigenous peoples and communities who have maintained these traditions over generations, and many of which are now in the modern time being recognized as being very fundamentally important for the future safety and security of the world,
Okay.
So we're talking about things like traditional herbal knowledge, traditional medicinal knowledge, traditional practices how to grow agricultural foods and to respond to the environment and climate change and these things. We find that indigenous peoples have been recognized as having the solution, the ancient solution to some of these modern problems we're facing now. And so we have to give reverence and respect and legal protection to and promotion of these cultures for the future.
Good. So you basically is the man that everybody come to in the Maroon community to make sure that all of these things that you just mentioned, make sure that they are registered, etc., etc.
Well, certainly, I mean, within the Maroon community, there's a cooperative working together on these issues, because these are issues which don't affect any one, community itself, So yes, I mean, there are ongoing discussions as it relates to establishing protocols in place. I mean, at present, for sure, in Charlestown, when persons come into the community from outside, they want to do filming, they want to do interviewing, they want to ask questions about the tradition and the culture, etc. We normally do engage them in a discussion about, what is the use that you intend to make of this material. Is it going to be a commercialization of it? If so, it should be something that the community is made aware of and is involved in and also share in the benefits of. If there's any sort of profit to be made and these kind of things, so that we don't just sell out the culture, but we manage it in a way that it can bring returns to the community, but also it is protected against distortion and, being misconstrued and that kind of thing. So that's already going on in communities. But in terms of now having a more wider, I think, consultation with government in terms of, the broader protection of Maroon traditions is also an ongoing thing, because there has been work within the convention for the indigenous cultural heritage, which also is geared toward protecting traditions and culture of communities and this kind of thing, So it's an ongoing work. It's something that the Maroons already have a long time tradition of keeping things secret, But the more we share in a culturally appropriate way, is the more we need to ensure we have the safeguards so we don't have people just running and doing what they want with these traditions.
And you cover off the merchandise licensing as well for maroon we call it like maroon stuff that's on sale. For instance now I visit the premises and I see a picture of artifacts and I take a picture of it and put it on a t-shirt and I start sell a lot of t-shirts. Basically, right. I infringe on the Maroons, right? Because these should be registered property. Merchandise.
Yeah, well, okay, so yes, so whether it's registered or not is not really what we're saying is the requirement, because again, these traditions and cultures pre-exist any of the modern registration system that exists. You know what I mean? So it's not to say it must be registered, but certainly it must be recognized which community it's coming from, which community owns that symbol or that cultural expression. So certainly, if someone's going to take a picture, use a piece of video, use any other kind of symbol that they have seen from a Maroon community, then they should get permission before they even take any picture of it, and certainly before they would seek to commercialize it in any way. And then that should eventually result in an agreement now between the community and that person as to how this thing will look and be used, if it is that the Maroons give consent, but they don't must give consent. And then they would say, how are we going to share in the financial proceeds from this use of our culture?
Okay. This question I have for you, Colonel. Since I mentioned the picture take, is picture taking allowed inside the museum?
No.
No. Okay. So
because they would want to just stay the artifacts. So the only way they can take a picture inside the museum is if they are going to be in the picture.
Okay.
So, for example, somebody come and they see their name on it. Like even in Jamaica here, they come and they see their name. They just don't step aside and take the name. And they are to one side. They have to be actually on a part of that chart. So they have to be in that picture, as in that picture.
Okay.
Because I know that they can crack the picture if they want to. So I have a smart way of doing it.
Yeah.
They have to actually be in it.
Absolutely. Just want to make sure because I know of people who visit all of these places and they take pictures and next thing you see them have it on t-shirts and things like that. And then some people want to sell as much as they can sell, so all right. So Flavius.
Yes, sir.
You the man in charge setting up the virtual stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
What other platform will it also be showing on?
Well, it will be showing on YouTube, Facebook, and the chat website.
Okay.
The presentation will be done via Zoom. That is not going out. The people who are watching and listening do not need to be on Zoom. They go straight to Facebook or YouTube or the website, and they will see it. That way we can control the amount of the Zoom interaction.
Okay.
So we only have the presenters on that. So the presenters are on one platform, and then we live stream it to the viewing platform.
Okay. I get you.
Yeah.
That sound good. I'm thinking, will this be things that you're going to do later on in the future, more virtual stuff? Like a question that somebody in the chat room just asked. Do these history taught in schools and in the Maroon community within the Caribbean?
Marcus,
In
can
the
answer
Maroon
that.
community,
Pardon me?
in the Maroon community, of course,
Okay.
but not as much has been taught into school. So what had happened is that they realized that they need to be teaching more about the Maroon,
Mm-hmm.
and so we find ourselves getting more schools now coming in
Mm-hmm.
to our community to learn more about the Maroon, especially if they want to do an SBA that entails the Maroon tradition and levity.
Mm-hmm.
So they would come into the Maroon community to, experience that for themselves. So what I would like to see as we go along is a curriculum that is actually about the Maroon,
Yeah.
not because they're doing an STB exam wanting to know the life and levity of the Maroon that
Yeah.
they're going to learn about it. But the curriculum should actually be one that is taught daily
Mm-hmm.
inside the school.
True, 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 true.
Marcus,
Marcus?
Marcus,
Yeah,
Yes,
he's still online, but not here.
Marcus,
yes, sir.
do you think that Charlestown and probably some of the other Maroon communities could set up a program that they could offer to the school to put in their curriculum?
I think so. Yes, I think that would be a good idea. Because even listening to Colonel talking, I think it would be something that would be beneficial and enhanced if the Maroon themselves are teaching it even, or certainly authoring the material that is being taught. But I think it would be good to also,
Yeah,
as has been done, the Maroon into the classroom from time to time, in the classroom into the Maroon community even better. But certainly, yes, if there could be some material that is prepared, because a lot of what is online, about Maroons and things is very Eurocentric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't really give
yeah,
a Maroon perspective on the history at all. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And so it doesn't put Maroons in a proper perspective. And Jamaicans and Jamaican youth need to appreciate Maroons in a correct Afrocentric perspective. So I think it's a very good idea.
Which bring me to this question my daughter asked me last night when she found out that I was going to have you on the program today, Colonel and Marcus. And she asked me the question. She said, Dad, how many percentage of Jamaicans are Maroons? I said, boy, I said, boy,
deep
that's a
question
question
that.
I don't know. She said, your grandma, your granddad are they Maroons? I said, I should think so because they're pretty much close in that region of St. Mary. So maybe they're Maroons. So I'm going to ask the question. How many percent of Jamaicans would you say are Maroons? Come from Maroon
Well,
descendants. Yeah.
I know for
Boy,
myself that I couldn't say a number, but I know I can talk about Charlestown.
Okay.
I know that 98% of the people living here in Charlestown are Maroon.
Okay.
Right? I would have to know how many percentage of Maroons are in a compound and then how many is in Scottsall and how many is in Moortown. And you have a field, which is not operating now, but it's still a Maroon community.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Bowden Pen. So we still couldn't just give a number. We'd have to know at least how many percentage of the people
Mm-hmm.
in those community are Maroon to be able to give a number.
Yeah, but don't you believe that a lot of people living outside are also Maroons?
Yes, because Maroons from time to time migrated
Mm-hmm.
because job is one of the main reasons. So they go to school and they come back and they decide that yes, we'll live here. But over time, they couldn't live without sustaining themselves. So they have to go out where the job is,
Mm-hmm.
or the qualification that they have where the job offers
Mm-hmm.
are. That's where they have to really migrate to. Um, I I taught in an early childhood facility,
Mm-hmm.
but yet I send out application for primary, which when I got answer, even though I state that I wanted the primary close to my community and in my community,
Mm-hmm.
the primary that I was given was in St. Mary.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't feel fit to go to that distance to teach a primary school.
Okay.
So I didn't worry. I stayed in the early childhood facility for 15 years. But not many people will be thinking of that. Most of the people will say, okay, I have to live, I have to be able to sustain myself plus my family and to have a saving at the end of the year. So the job is one of the thing. And another thing is the school.
I'm gonna push
Uh,
myself out on a limb. And
mhm,
yeah, and the reason why I say that because my grandmother, she is from Anatomy in St. Mary.
mhm,
And when we were young, we used to she used to do some stuff. And my
mhm,
aunt used to say she's a Maroon. But we couldn't prove it, she never discussed that with us when we asked her a question. Grandma, you come from the Maroon tribe? And she just look at us and
mhm.
just do what she do. And I mean, she was a very strong woman, hard worker, and she do some stuff unbelievable. So we used to figure,
Yes.
say, it has to be from the Maroons. But then growing up,
Mhm,
we used to hear some other stories about Maroons returning slave back to plantation owners. And then as I get
mhm,
older, I realize that it was a lie they were telling because
mhm,
somebody explained to me what really happened. These slaves used to escape and they would
mhm,
find like, Maroon settlement. And they would be
mhm.
like, we call it the house slave who would lead the slave owners to these Maroon camps and kill them off.
Right.
So all along we used to just say, why we don't know if we're Maroon, but I always said to my friends, I think 90% of Jamaicans are Maroons because
Right.
if we're African descendant, then we have to mix up in this thing. Until the other day I heard, what's her name, Miss Miller was on the
Yeah.
program and she was
Okay.
telling her,
Yeah.
yeah, and she was telling us about the different people, the Taino and the Akan, and there's another one from named Yoruba.
Durable.
Yoruba,
Mhm.
all right, and some Congolese, people from Africa as well. So that's why I figure, the number I'm saying is 90% of Jamaicans should be Maroons.
Yeah.
If anybody in the chat room want to challenge it, can go ahead, but we just say that. I might word that.
But
So
my
of
question,
course.
Yeah, but go
my
ahead, go ahead.
my question, my question,
Of, mhm.
Are you say,
Marcus,
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Marcus, is Marcus there?
Yes, yes, I was saying that. Yes, yes, can you hear me?
yeah, man, I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
Yes,
yeah,
I was
Marcus.
saying that. Yeah, I was saying that we should have this data. We should be collecting this data. In my view, and
Yeah.
the unfortunate situation is that the official statistics, and the census that is done every 10 years or so in Jamaica does not collect that data, doesn't ask anybody about that.
No.
And so we don't have that data, but it will be very interesting to see how many persons self-identify as Maroons in that kind of a statistical way, to really have some some basis, some figures.
Yeah, true.
My
We could
question
run
over.
our own.
Pardon,
Yeah,
We
Colonel?
could run.
that is,
We could run our own statistic.
Okay.
Do a statistic online to say, okay, we need to know how much Maroons are living across Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Put a tick or a high or whatever it is, indicate,
That could
and
be
then we
work.
come by number how many
Mm-hmm.
you get. But it is not effective as the other,
Mm-hmm.
as a real statistic, the one that the government has done. But
Yeah.
at least you'd have an idea to know how much people are Maroon.
Well, I just
but
figure,
but do you realize that in recent times, especially since Charlestown has had their conference and festival, a lot of people are trying to associate themselves to Maroons.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't that way in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's true.
nowadays you
No.
find that people say, my grandfather this and my grandmother this or whatever.
because there was a myth out there on the Maroons, and as you get older, you hear, you sit down with people from the Maroon community and they tell you the stories. Then you say,
Yeah.
oh, so why they used to say, it's just like the other day a gentleman came on the show and he said to us, he was up in, where was he, Flavor? Somewhere up in Canada. And
Oh.
the people where we know from the storybooks
Oh
where they
yeah.
used to teach us that they
Yes.
were Eskimos. They are not Eskimos. It was a name given to them by the colonial masters, a derogatory name, just like how you'd look at a black man and call him the N-word. And somebody had to
Yeah.
pull him aside and tell him, you can't call them Eskimo. It's like them looking at you and calling you the N-word. And him said, but it's in the books. Yes, it's in their books. So that's why I figure, say, you guys have something good here. Can educate Jamaicans, especially in the schools. Start off with the children, learn what them hear and what them say. And I know a lot of them will identify with it because it's in our blood. I know it's in our blood. So that's why I said 90% of Jamaicans are Maroons. Some of you go and dispute it, well, listen, but it's just to me, that's my facts. I not go by no data statistic. I put it out there. That's my facts.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's
I just speak about schools. Marcus, do you think that it is time now for the Jamaican Maroons to have some learning institutions at different levels?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think the conference in Charlestown, is something that Colonel Lumsden had envisioned would be of that same thought. Colonel didn't want to start a conference that would have been housed in a university or somewhere external to the community. He wanted to host it within the community at a place of learning where people who want to learn about the Maroons and interact with can come to the seat of the Maroons and to listen and learn. So I think it's the same building out of that, where you have institutions, you have the museum down at Charlestown as well, where a lot of young children coming through the school system are exposed to Maroon history, can see and look and touch and feel, and hear the culture, and so, yes, I think there's definitely scope for building out that kind of educational platform through short courses, institutions, but there's no better institution in that respect to learn the traditional knowledge than going to the feet of the Maroon themselves.
Yeah, my thought is that should be set up post ACE because I also know that a lot of scholars, like from the University of West Indies, who are doing their projects, do come to Charlestown to get information from time to time to learn,
True.
First what is happening.
Yes, I think certainly there's a need for a Maroon archives. If you look at the centuries that Maroons have been around, yet, where is the repository of all of the Maroon history? Of course, all of the history still is written by the Europeans, but there still would be very beneficial use in having a central online, archive that can be accessed to research and find out about the history of the Maroons,
True.
Oh,
Absolutely.
so you want to give that some thought and see how that can be implemented.
Definitely.
I know Charlestown have a lot of footage and all that can be put together in a meaningful way that can look at and get all different kind of knowledge from, information from.
yes.
That's true.
Especially so we celebrating Power Day now. I mean, we should have a whole section on Kwao and on that period, what he has done, and and how that comes down to today, how that trickles down to what is happening today. Because one of the things, Colonel, is that it is I think it is said, but it also borne out in facts that the Maroon communities in Jamaica, not just Charleston, but all of them, are the safest and most peaceful place in Jamaica.
What, Charlestown or Maroon community?
Maroon communities in
Oh,
general,
Maroon
including that.
communities. Okay.
Can you comment on that?
Well, our community is safe. You can actually, I am at the office now, and if you go to my house, the door is open.
The what?
So that's how safe it is. The
Oh,
door is
the doors
open.
are open.
Yes.
I came up I call it the hill, because it's to me it's the first I came there last year, and it's very fascinating to me because I know we were driving coming from Anato Bay, and we drove past Buff Bay, turned back around, and we saw I think Flavius told us how to get there, and we came up a road. To me, it's a upper hill, right? I always tell people we went up the hill in a car, but then
Yeah.
That is not.
that's not what.
For Franco,
Mm.
Franco, that is the road in the Buffalo Valley that leads back to Garden Town. Believe it or not.
Okay, so coming up the hill, we saw some gentlemen outside, sitting outside, and we asked them, "Where is Charlestown Maroon?" And they said, "Just go right there, so I make the right turn." And we were like coming down in a valley. My driver said, "Wait, where we going? Oh, we're coming like we come up the hill and we're going down in a valley." So it was amazing to me when we came down, interview talked to the gentleman at the gate, and we pay, and came inside. We were down on a flat, and I said to myself, "Whoa, can you imagine this when it was forest, trees all around it? It has to be a place where nobody could find you." So I consider it up on a hill, and then the museum, the playground, everything is down in the valley. Cause further down
Yeah.
you have the river. That's how you would describe it to Colonel.
Well, actually, yes, because we're at the foot actually of the Blue Mountain. So you can get to the Blue Mountain by traveling this way, or to Kingston by traveling this way. And of course, you have to go up the hill or up the mountain to really reach your destination.
Oh. And Flavius, you said that same road take us all the way to Garden Town?
Yes.
Yeah, go through right through Newcastle, come right down here.
Right through to Papi.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a beautiful sight and scenery because even some of the places there was named by the Maroon. Like for example, Holywell
Yeah.
is actually called Holywell because one of the slaves had injured his leg and he escaped from the plantation. And when he went there, he saw water that he took a bath in, and he put his leg into soak. And he drink the same water, and before you know it, his leg was healed.
Whoa.
And he go back and he tell them, indeed, this well is holy. This place should be called Holy Well. And so it got the name Holy Well.
Holy well.
And so there you have mixed feelings when you go there. You can feel the presence of the ancestor. You can feel the mist around. You can see warmth. You can feel, as if you are surrounded. Then if you look over, you can see all the different bays and harbor and so much more. It's a beautiful sight to see
Let me
from
feel like
there.
I want to come home now.
Well, you
feel
are
like-
closer home. You are closer.
It make me feel like I want to come home, come visit the place, and I mean,
The borders are open. You can come. The borders are open.
I know
so
the
you can
borders
come.
are now open. Yeah, like, the thing that's really, I'm not gonna say it bother me, but I know this year would have been really grand for
This year would
for
be-
the child.
would
Yeah.
have been tremendous. Yeah.
Yeah, I know because from what I saw and witnessed last year, and to know at the time there was also a funeral going on, and yet so many people turn out, and another person said to me, "You know, see nothing yet. That through the funeral make the crowd like this," and I said, "Wow, but it's still a good crowd. I never expect to see this crowd." So I was prepared for this year, but Corona came and messed things up. So I know next year, should be, and I'm saying it should be different because hopefully you guys might be able to have it again inside the village. No.
Well,
Yes, and that's one of the best thing because I mean, having it when someone can come actually to the village and have a one-on-one
Yeah.
contact with the Maroons and the presentation and to be a part of what is happening, is something that they look forward to each year. And so one of the things is for us to actually, keep it here in the community, and that's what we're actually working towards again. There are so many people ask me, is there anything on sale? Are we gonna be able to purchase our jerk pork? So much more. So people, talk about the different food. There's a food vendor gonna be on and so on. But having those people here on ground would mean having a crowd here. So we have to just know that we are doing it virtual and we are enjoying a virtual conference tomorrow, the 12th year. And the 12th is like you count up the lot and you're now coming down to two. So the second time, this mean, go wider. So this is one of our chance to go wider. So we're going to use the internet platform to reach as many people as possible. Now, the 13th, I know, is always a good mark. So, we'll get out there, we'll expand both wider and in the personal number. So we're going to be working on getting people to really see all that they could see. Even though we're only marking one day this year, normally it would have been four, but we're going to see. Because sometimes the spirit leads more than just a day.
As you touch on the fourth day celebration, let me ask you something. The 23rd, is it always have to be a celebration on the 23rd? If it say next year 23rd is on, say a Thursday or a Friday, I'm just gonna throw. It has to be on the 23rd, a Friday, the event.
Yes. Yes. So we have 2 days of conference. So whichever 2 days, whether two before or two after or one before and one after, but it includes the 23rd each year. So the 23rd is actually the quo day. It doesn't matter which date it's on, and that's the day that the colonels come out and they make the necessary presentation, the Maroon communities and so on. So yes, it has to be.
So the celebration would start on the Kwawu Day on the 23rd then, and then the other days would be the remainder of the conference.
There are days when we start the quo day on the 23rd.
Okay.
But as long as the 23rd is in it, we include the 23rd as a part of our celebration.
I see. Well, that's very good. I've seen videos on the YouTube channel where schools visit the museum and the teachers are talking about, oh, the food is awesome.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, our food is always awesome.
And they say the food is
Our
awesome.
food is always awesome.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Well, I know so much people couldn't tell lie. Because it's different schools. Camperdown, even St. George's School for Girls. A whole lot of schools. So that's really good. That's really good. Something to look for. So for people now, like say, who don't know much about Charlestown, what would you tell them? Like outsiders who don't
I
know.
will tell them that. All right, so Charlestown is the Maroon community kept in Crown. After they leave the old Crawford Town. So old Crawford Town was their first settlement. So after fighting the Maroon War in 1754, Captain Cowan and his people, they came down to Charlestown proper, where they settled here. utilizing the lands as farmland and also living here as a part of the Maroon community. Here in Charleston, more land was also given to them. So we we use the land as a part of what our full parent gets. So we tell them about the different places here, the different terrains, and how they can get here. So to get to Charleston, Charleston is one place you can get to without have to actually be coming there. So you can come down the mountain from Kingston, and you can use the time you're entering to Charleston. But if you're coming from the Kingston region around the junction, then you take the right turn at the Texaco gas station. If you're coming from Port Anthony, it would be the left turn. And so you come up the hill, and as you come up the hill about a mile and a half up there, you'll see the sign you're entering to Charlestown, and also the sign that says Maroon Museum and Asafrian. It is a breathtaking place. It is one of the places that you enjoy being a part of, or being into, or being around the people that is in the natural environment. So Charleston is one of which you can offer, you can receive good experience. You can get one-on-one living life, living communication with the people around, and also one of the places that offers an experience, living a moment like the Maroon.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Excuse me, Colonel. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Somebody asked if there's a dormant volcano anywhere between Charleston.
That was I think Black Hill.
Black Hill has one?
I heard of Black Hill. I heard of Black Hill in recent time. But they say wherever you have a warm water, there is an volcano effect. So I think one is up the mountain there too. I'm still doing a research on that.
Okay, yes, please. Yeah, please. Somebody said they heard about that, but I could not tell them. I did not know. I did not know. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Flavius? Flavius?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything else? Because I touch all the points and no one else asking question in the chat room.
Well, the order of the day is the celebration on next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, yeah.
You know, on viewing on YouTube and Facebook and maroonsjamaica.com. You know, but we put those out and those links out. We are putting everything together, and it should be a grand day. It should be a grand day.
Okay.
Virtually, you don't have to go home this time. You can stay home. The people in Europe and Africa, elsewhere, Caribbean, you all can stay home and enjoy the Maroon celebration for the first time.
Yes, and there's also going to be a roundtable discussion within the platform, so they will get to learn more.
Yeah, there's a panel discussion, a roundtable.
And storytelling too, right?
Yeah, that is clear. Yeah, man, a lot of stories going to be told. About Kwawu, it's mostly Kwawu stories.
Okay.
So that's, and you will hear from the different colonels from the different communities. And they will have something to say about what is happening. But Colonel,
yes, sir.
For the most part, COVID has not left Charleston too badly off.
Never touch chance
No,
though.
only just a financial strain, and that's because our tour actually has to stop.
Hmm.
Literally,
Yeah.
and so the income wouldn't have been much, but we use the time valuable.
Hmm.
So what we do is we ensure that we start putting some different repairs on the compound. So the compound would have been a lot different. When people come to the celebration this year, they would have seen a different place than the place that they have
Yeah.
been to before. And actually, it's gonna be the same. Next year, they're gonna see a different place than the
Hmm.
place that they have been to. So it's only a financial strain that COVID had really left on us.
Yeah.
It leaves that on everybody, everywhere.
And yes, everybody everywhere.
And nobody was exempt at all.
Right. I mean, everybody's looking forward to go back to work, but at the same time, you have to look forward to prepare yourself. So why opening up as the country is up?
Hmm.
Watch and see what is happening.
Hmm.
You know,
Oh,
use
oh, yeah.
their measures to be your way of learning and putting on an instinct.
Hmm.
One,
Getting things done.
one thing with the reopening, I think a lot of people want to know: will you be having mass? Like if somebody
Yes,
show up without a mask, that you could send them.
mask. We're trying to have masks. We're trying to have ventilators. Yes, we're trying to have enough masks that if someone turn up without one, I'm not saying that we're offering masks, but yes,
No.
we are going to ensure that our drummers and dancers have their gears, and also our
Yeah.
tour guides, the different mics and so on, like I explained before, you know,
Yeah.
and to ensure that they are properly sanitized and so on.
True, 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 true.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
The last time you were here, Colonel, I'm gonna put you on the
Hmm.
spot now. You gave a nice some bush tea remedy to bring up mucus out of your system,
Hmm.
and I tried it and it worked. So
Hmm.
now that the mucus is out, where do I go from here now?
So you go by building your body now.
Yeah, the
So
immune
once the
system.
mucus is out,
Hmm.
right? So you build the immune system by taking the different vitamins and stuff that you need. So you do natural vitamins. So
Hmm.
you can consume some more turmeric. You can consume, because turmeric and ginger is high in zinc,
Yeah,
which is
after
one of the
that.
main vitamin that we need,
Okay.
right? And then you can consume some oranges,
Yeah, I
yeah,
do a lot of that.
orange,
I do a lot of
pineapple,
that. Uh-huh. Well, the
right?
pineapple, not
So
yet.
keep fruity,
Hmm.
right? So those are some of the things that avocado and you can take in at this time.
Mm. What about aloe vera? What do you can tell me about aloe vera? Somebody gave me some aloe vera the other day, and I said I have to go on YouTube for me
Yes.
find
So
some.
aloe vera,
Hmm.
aloe vera is used to clean and build.
Hmm.
So it cleans the system of all that is not needed, and
Okay.
then it builds your body.
Okay.
So you fall asleep before you know it,
Hmm.
sitting down, even at the dining table. Aloe vera clean your system and then build it to give you that strength that you can actually sit up and perform, do some more work and so on. So that's what aloe vera really done for you.
So I just what cut it open, blend it up, and drink it
You
with
can cut it
something.
open and
Hmm.
blend it, or you can take it with orange. You
Hmm.
can blend it with orange juice. I
Hmm.
love to do my aloe vera with coconut water, so I
Um,
take it with coconut water and drink it like in the morning and evening.
Do you blend the skin?
Ah,
Do you blend the skin
Sir
too?
Flavors?
if you say you blend the
Do you
skin
blend the
as
skin?
well,
Yeah, yeah, I blend everything
just wash it and just cut them up
and
in it
blend it.
and blend it. Good, good. I'm gonna
Because
try
if
it
you
later
throw away
on.
the skin, you're actually throwing away the aloe.
All
And the
right.
aloe is the thing that works on you. The inside is only the
Okay.
gel. I mean,
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful. So I'm glad.
But the skin is a bit apart.
No matter.
Yes.
We need it for
It's shallow.
no matter. We need it.
So another way you can do it is by splicing it and
Mm-hmm.
put it into a jar and pour coconut water or water on it and drink water from it.
Mm.
And
So
it
you don't
drains
actually have to
down.
Yeah,
blend.
that means if you don't have the blender, you
Right.
just slice it up. Okay, sound good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. So, do we have any more thing, Flavius, on your list?
No, that's about it.
We have lost Dr. Marcus.
Okay.
Should we get him back?
Yeah, you could if you can.
Let me get him back so we can wrap up in a much highly fashion. Dialing Dr. Marcus. Sorry about that, Dr. Marcus.
Yeah, man. No
Yeah, we
problem.
don't want close off abruptly and leave you out of the
Oh,
discussions.
but we have more time enough, Frank. Probably Marcus wants to.
Okay. What were you saying now, Flavius?
No, I said maybe Dr. Marcus might want to say something.
All right, go ahead, doctor.
Now we have time. We have time.
Right. Well, it's really just about the conference, which I know Colonel and Favors have dealt with already. Really just to encourage ones to come out. Come out virtually. It's the first time we're doing it. Colonel Lumjan always say from the internet to the bang. So
And they are being to
go
the
there
internet.
from the bang to the internet. Yeah. So yeah, man. Don't be tricky.
Look at how long it was timed, and now it's coming to a real reality.
We said this thing was suggested years ago
Yeah,
from the bang to the internet. Wow.
yeah.
A question from the chat room. Why couldn't there be a Maroon Day in school?
That is a big question.
You hear that, Colonel? And Dr. Marcus?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to actually make that suggestion actually to the Minister of Education. So Marcus would have to do that letter.
Mm-hmm.
Asking them to include a Maroon Day. Just like they have a Teachers Day, a Jamaica Day, a Maroon Day, because the Maroon national heroine, Nanny.
Yes.
She is the own heroine as well and played the part to freedom. So
True.
a Maroon Day would really be good. Would have to send a letter to the Ministry of Education asking them to include it so worldwide Jamaica would know about Maroon, know more about the Maroon.
That would be monumental. That's good.
I think that could be a very big impact. It can start in school, but it can be a Jamaican thing because, like I said, Nanny is an actor hero.
Oh, yeah, that's what Colonel was saying.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant question. Make note, Marcus, make note.
I think it's something we can do.
Yeah.
We have to consult. We have to ask other communities, I guess, in terms of what would be the best day, but definitely something we can, we can look at.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Brilliant.
So we could actually choose a day out of February since they do Black History in February. Or even October, because Eras in the Eras month.
But Eras month.
Eras.
And I keep saying it. I keep saying that the Maroons signed the peace treaty exactly
Hmm.
100 years before emancipation.
Exactly.
And to me, that is very significant.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica people should know that, should hear about that. Because
So, do you think
100
we
years,
need to write the Ministry of Education or we need to write the Governor General?
oh yeah,
All of them who was in
oh
charge.
yeah. I
Cause
think that is something that should be jumped on immediately. Like Marcia say, speak to the other Maroon communities, and then do a combined team to the
Hmm.
ministry and general whoever else.
mm-hmm.
I think that is wonderful.
Or we could do a drafting of the letter first, and then we
Yeah,
sit within the group and discuss it. If anything is there to be changed, then we come together as one and after discussion, we change it and so on. But just to have a base on what we really are going to do.
yeah. Yeah, Marcus, you could probably do that, and then you'll be in the meeting too. So
Yeah.
As you
I
said that,
I like yeah, I like the advantages and whatever.
Colonel, as I mentioned about drafting the letter and sit down with the other Maroon village
Leaders.
or leaders. It came to me last week. You guys mentioned something about borderless. Say
Hmm.
what was all that? What is that? Because it was said that a colonel had said the Maroons or the indigenous people, sorry, the indigenous people should be borderless, which means they should come together. There shouldn't be no border between them.
Exactly. So it's a borderless and indigenous community.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we work towards.
Mm-hmm.
It has always been the dream and plan of Colonel to work towards an indigenous or borderless community,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that the indigenous people are the people who actually do the same thing, fight for the same cause,
Mm-hmm.
go through the same struggles, even though some survive it, some actually died.
Yeah,
But I mean, our indigenous should be borderless among each other.
that's true. Beautiful. Because I thought that was going to be the name of the theme for this year conference, borderless and indigenous peoples.
It
But
is. It is for Cody.
It is.
oh, it is.
Fakode, yeah.
See, well, thank you for clearing up that for me. Thank you for clearing that up.
So everyone can see that it is borderless. And everyone can, because we have been in touch with the Taínos, since recently, Baby in a room,
Mm-hmm.
one of the baby of the Taínos were in the hospital. I called Baby Carrera, which is another baby,
Mm-hmm.
and we come together as one, offering the prayer,
Mm-hmm.
so that her welfare and her health would be uplifted and she would get well. And it actually does work when you come together as one.
Yeah.
So it's a borderless group, yeah.
United.
So we're living borderless lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but some years ago, Colonel Frank went up to the First Nations in Newfoundland for a big event, you know, and that
Hmm.
was that was very good. That was very good. Reaching out to some very different people who are in the same position as the Maroons.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Somebody send me a text. How does the Maroon generate incomes?
Well, in
good.
all the Maroon communities, you have people generating income in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So some of us we use what we know. So, for example, our craft and our skills,
Mm-hmm.
we use those craft and skills to generate a different kind of income that we need to sustain us. We use the history.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get a Maroon history in full unless you come to the Maroon community So
Okay.
when they come there, we use the history as a part of the income drive.
Mm-hmm.
We use the knowledge of the different herbs and plants and medicine. Some people come, they purchase the medicines you make for them,
Okay.
or they purchase the plant. Some just want the plant to plant at home.
Mm-hmm.
Some want it to keep to use forever, so they purchase the plant. So we use whatever it is that we have around us. So it's mostly self-sustained
Mm-hmm.
within the community, even though we do have teachers and doctors and nurses and farmers, and we have all those, but it doesn't matter what you are today, you still have
Mm-hmm.
a drive of what you know. For example, I know I have a skill in fermenting, so
Mm-hmm.
I ferment just about everything you eat into a wine. And so those are some of the things that people do
Yeah.
within the community: make wicker basket,
Mm-hmm.
make cloth mat, all those stuff. So we use what we have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. So that clear up your question, my contacts. You know, one of the things I saw last year, yes, I did saw the crafts, especially some craft made out of like a calabash,
Hmm.
Beads.
and some make
Coconut
out a
shell.
coconut shell. Yeah. Listen now, I'm gonna give you a joke.
Franco.
Couple months ago, I got some coconuts, and because I saw this looked like a cup made out of coconut shell.
Hmm.
I came home and I ox the coconut open, and I mark it with like a tape. What would I? A roll of
Hmm.
tape. I put it over the coconut head top, and I use a pen and I mark it, and I use a saw and I cut it, clean out inside, and try to make it into what I saw last year. Not perfect yet though, but I'm working on it. And it those things fascinate me a lot to see people, use like coconuts and calabash and all them thing there and make what you call it, dishes and cups out of it. You have that on site? Do you have like that craft area on site where people work in a
Well,
workshop there?
pretty soon you can see that we are actually working on that kind of workshop out of one of the projects that we have actually been doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So we are now doing a project sponsored by the IAF.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that is one of the things that is coming out of it. The craft workshop where people can actually have first-hand look and views on people making a craft,
Mm-hmm.
or even pay to make their own cup, or make their own cup and then buy it, whatever it is, because they have to pay for the material. But
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
something like that. We'll be having that. And yes, when they come here, they get served their meal into a calabash bowl, or cups, or even
Mm-hmm.
coconut cups. So we utilize calabash and coconut a lot.
It's good, good, good. And if I come the
Franco.
yeah.
Franco.
Mm-hmm.
Franco. Let me just tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
The current's not telling you that she is the chief designer
Really?
of all art.
She's the
So
chief designer. Mm-hmm.
she's good at the craft and also of the liqueurs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
herbs
I
and
know
all
she
that.
good at with the herbs. I know, and she just mentioned something about fermented and
Yeah, man.
turn it into wine. Well, the
Yes.
question I have now, because I'm going back into my herbal stuff. I can get these things to
Hmm.
purchase when I come there, like herbal tea, the bush, etc. So I know I can't travel with them, but I can use it while I'm there in Jamaica. So,
Yes, you can. And well, because of COVID, we won't have the tea bags that is made from the herbs. So we are
okay.
gonna hit it back again as soon as we can do. So that's another brand coming out of what we're doing here. So it's Bali
Mm-hmm.
Blue, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's the Maroon Mint, which is one of the teas. We have Turmeric Tingle,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Maroon Surprise.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Yes, so we have those. Yes, we have those coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We have those coming out. Maroon Surprise, It's a tea that made of combination of herbs that is actually what you think they should be taste real harmful, but then the taste is amazing behind it.
Yeah.
And what it does to the body is actually a wake up, surprise strength that you have received.
Good,
So
good.
those are some of the things that are going to be coming out.
Yes, Dr. Marcus, we have you back now. And before we wrap up, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Well, I say just to really big up the Charlestown team, and big up yourself as well, for giving the platform, Brother Flavius. I say thanks for the works, and I want to encourage everyone to come out and say log in, and join us on the 23rd. And Brother Flavius has given the details of the start time and the Zoom link, right, Brother Flavius? It's available.
Yes,
Anyone can know.
Okay.
Right. So for more information, of course, you can always visit the website. It's maroons-jamaica.com. And of course, you can contact Flavors Lately. You can contact Colonel Kim and the team. So that's really it. Thanks again for having us.
Yeah, man. Colonel?
Yes, sir.
Before we wrap up, anything you want to say?
Yes, so I know that many people are looking forward to be on this platform, the internet platform, celebrating this year. Let us do it in fine style. Remember, practice your dance, because when we are dancing, we want to feel your energy as if you are at home dancing too as well. So practice your dance so that you can dance with us. Feel free to ask any question. You can contact us, as Marcus has clearly stated. So, myself, Rodney, Marcus, there are a team of us that you can contact during that time. And of course, we are looking forward for a wonderful, wonderful time. So hopefully, yes, we'll get the message out. We are going to get the message out from the Abeng to the internet and a borderless and indigenous community.
True.
I'm going to ask Franco to put up the contact information on the channel now, in this video, because this video is now posted. Will be posted shortly to YouTube, and it's there permanent. You can put up the contact information there.
Yeah, when we finish, we just add it into the description.
Yeah, that we will do now.
So, Colonel,
for chatting with us.
Colonel and Attorney Marcus, thank both of you for taking time out of your busy schedule and for being here with us. And we're looking forward to link up with you in the virtual celebration of Ancestor Kwao Day.
Yes.
Looking forward.
Give thanks to you.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Medasi.
Yes, my people, you just heard Colonel Marcia Douglas and attorney at law, Dr. Marcus Goffe. Before we get out of here, Flavors and I are going to come back and give you more information. But listen to this song from a brethren in St. Thomas named Craig East, Journey.
The ones who will grow with tell me this: life is a test, learn as much from it. Don't get lost in the wilderness. Crows out there, then we eat your flesh. Oh yes, oh yes. To all the ones, when you see a youth sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we tell them say no give up. The one them if you help with them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing but precious. Them one we life is so hard than a citrus. Them said that we suspicious, you them see waiting and lift up. Then too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell them sit down, just tell me you won't stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell you sit down, just tell me you won't stand up to the count, you're not going out. Don't let the struggle in this time get you down. Pick up yourself from off of the ground. Life is an ocean, learn to swim or you drown. You live and you learn, you better be firm. Fight, fight, fight. Do what is right, keep your goals in sight. Stick to the ones that you hold the same heights. Wise mind think alike, the future is bright. It's sticky out there, yes it's tricky out there. Someone said them care, but them don't even want to share. Them treat me unfair, and that make me cry tears. Cry, cry, When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell them sit down, just tell me you won't stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell you sit down, just tell me you won't stand up to the count, you're not going out. When you see your youth a sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we a tell them say no give up. No wonder my feel help with them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing we precious. Them one way life is sour than a citrus. Them said that we suspicious, you them see waiting and lift up. Then too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell them sit down, just tell me you won't stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell you sit down, just tell me you won't stand up to the count, you're not going out. The ones who are grow it tell me this. Life is a test, learn as much from it. Don't get
Yes. It's time for Flavius and I to get out of here. Flavius, you want to lead off?
Yes. Folks, it's time to go again, and we'll be back tomorrow. We're having again tomorrow, Franco.
Tomorrow we have another doctor, Dr. Pauline Wallner, and we have also Cornetta Murray. Cornetta Murray.
Yes.
Yeah, Cornetta Murray and Dr. Pauline Wallner.
Okay.
I don't have much information on Dr. Pauline. I can give you a first hand, but you'll see. I'll post it up. I'll post up the flyer.
Yeah. She has a book, Rising Strong. Rising Strong. It's a story by about 8 persons who have lost loved ones and how they cope.
Okay.
And how they cope with that, losing of their loved one, mostly children. How do you cope if you lose your child? So she has done a whole series on that, Rising Strong. So she'll be speaking to us about that line. And Cornetta will be dealing with kids.
Yes, children.
Emotional aspects of kids, especially in this COVID and stay-at-home time. How people treat with that type of situation and what are the best practices and all that. So that's what we're having tomorrow. So this should be really interesting and intriguing. And then Thursday, tomorrow, English League football will be opening up. So Thursday we have Don the man from London.
Yeah, man.
He'll be taking us through all of that, and he'll have a lot to say tomorrow because there's a lot of action.
You mean to say
For the
Thursday?
past-
You have a lot for say Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Tomorrow is a different thing. But Thursday is the old football, soccer in the States, old football action. And for the past months, he has been just speaking generally and about what is being said and, but now on Thursday, he will have what is being done because tomorrow they are actually playing games, physical games, getting scores, win and lose. So he will have a lot to say. And of course, on Friday, by popular demand,
the saga continues.
yeah, by popular demand. But before we have that, are we going to have Mani?
I don't know. I've got to find out because she's kind of busy at the moment, but I got to find out if she will be available to do the cooking, the Caribbean cooking
let me know.
recipes.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the big thing on Friday for the time for now is the Back by Popular Demand. It's Audrey Hall.
It's not back by popular demand, It's the saga continue. Because
Yes, Back by Popular
we never finish with her. We never finish with her.
Well, even if we thought we did, our listeners didn't think so. They know that she have a lot more to give.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. So that's it. That's the list for Wednesday to Friday.
And critical to us. And as always, I say Corona, COVID-19 is still here with us. So the same protocol that we were following last week, not because we are open this week, we need to follow the same protocol. In fact, we have to be more careful now. More careful. So stay home if you don't have to go out. And if you go out, keep your distance and wear your mask. Until tomorrow.
And as always, I'm going to close with this. Remember that prayer do changes things. Regardless of what religion you belong to. You must pray. Continue pray. Some people say them not pray. Some people figure like them not for pray. But you must pray. Remember me tell you that. You must pray. Even if you say, Lord God, you must pray. So until next time, take care of yourself and your loved one. This is Franco.
And this is Flavius.
Wishing you a pleasant afternoon going into the evening and into the night.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away myself. Me I fi take away myself. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away myself. I fi take away myself. I have to utilize I wings. Show the eye cleave where I is. I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel I like a thief in the night. May I forget
Unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.